Hey YouTube, Jeff Lindsay in the garage with you. It is Sunday, October the 15th. It's about noon and we got out yesterday and started working on the doors a little bit, and we didn't get a lot done, but we got started on the passenger side door, stripping it down. And you can see where this passenger side door has got the multiple layers of paint. The driver's side door, the one that had been replaced, did not have but like maybe 2 different layers of paint and a primer, so it wasn't near as hard to strip. But we got out and cleaned up in the shop a little bit yesterday. The big table that was in this area and stuff that was all the way down that wall, we moved out. We straightened up in the back corner. We kind of modified this little buggy with our paint stuff. It's got a little 4-inch box turned upside down. It was an old table I had in the shop. We rigged up some stuff to hold our guns. We've got all of our stuff that we'll be using. But anyway, we did a little cleanup. We got our passenger side door hinges in epoxy yesterday. And then we got started on the doors. And one thing I wanted to bring up, I'm guilty of, is not always wearing what I need to wear when I'm doing things that I do. I do try to wear a face shield, and I always wear safety glasses. Some folks, for whatever reason, I mean, you may feel comfortable not wearing them, but 2 things have happened to me in the past 2 weeks. One yesterday, and I'll get to that, but one a week or so ago. I had this little angle drive die grinder and was using it when I was cutting out that piece on that door. And I had a cutoff disc that was similar to this, but not exactly like this one. It was a little bit thinner. It was like a 1/16 inch maybe, or even, I don't know, it could have been a little thinner. But anyway, I did have on my face shield, I did have on my gloves. And I was cutting that piece out to put that piece that Russ had sent me in. And that cutoff wheel came apart at maximum RPM. And I was standing right about here in the front of the shop. And that half of that disc hit this foam ceiling. And it ran the length of the shop, which is 30 feet, all the way down, hit that wall and fell to the ground. The piece that blew off, which was about half of that disc. First time that's ever happened to me. I've been fabricating 30 years, 25, 30 plus years. I've never had one do that. I have had them come apart before, but not that extreme. Very dangerous, very dangerous. There's no doubt that could have done some serious damage to skin or eyes or anything else. Yesterday, using these polycarbide disc on this 4.5 inch DeWalt grinder, I did not check the maximum RPM on these discs until this thing blew apart with me yesterday. Maximum RPM on this disc is 11,000. The DeWalt has a minimum RPM of 11,000. So it's 11,000 plus, which is the maximum for this. I didn't check it, didn't think nothing about it, because I had stripped this door. I had stripped quarter panels. Pretty much all the paint that came off this car, I had used probably 4 or 5 of those discs. But this thing, I was coming along here and it was doing a real good job, just like always. and I got in this area right here. I don't know what happened. Obviously it was just too much for that particular disc. That disc blew apart. Half of that came off and came right straight back at me and hit me, and I've got a substantial bruise in my hip area. So now I'm reluctant to to use those things, but you know, I've still got a long way to go for stripping this off. And those are the best thing that I've found for getting those multiple layers of paint off. But anyway, YouTube, I wanted to share that with you. You know, there's a lot of us doing this work, doing these cars. Just be careful, you know, wear your glasses and your face shields and gloves and things. Like I say, better than half of this thing blew apart. And this disc was brand new out of the pack. I don't know if they just didn't have enough stuff on there. Obviously, I've exceeded the RPMs. But anyway, YouTube, we'll let that go at that. Just a FYI and a little bit of a safety tip. These wire wheels, everybody that's ever used them, you know those things will come apart. I've had them stuck in me from work and all. So, always best to try to use some safety glasses, face shield, and at least a decent pair of leather gloves when you're doing that mess. And just keep your work out away from you a little way. You know, don't stand right up over it. You know, keep your work out away from you if you can, just in case something happens. But there again, we'll let it ride. That's 7.5 minutes of talking about nothing much. But anyway, we're going to get busy on the doors, YouTube. We'll try to get these things knocked out. My plan is to try to get the doors, fenders, and the new core support, radiator support, on this car by the end of the month, which is a lot of work because both fenders are pretty much in the same condition with the paint and all. But there again, we'll let it go at that, and we'll bring you along when we have progress. All right, YouTube, Jeff Lindsay in the garage with you about 3 p.m. Sunday afternoon on the 15th. It is warm in South Georgia. 83 degrees in the shop. Had the air conditioner going. I'm sure it's probably 88 or so outside, close to 90. Ready for some cool weather, and it's not getting here fast enough. So we made a little progress on this fender, stripping this thing down, and we ran out of our little polycarbide deal to run. I just had one left, so I'm gonna have to make a trip and get some more. So I quit on it and actually did something else, but we got to about the center, and we knew from what we checked way back that we had some filler in this area. And back about 12-14 inches away, somewhere right in here, is where it starts, and looks like where it ended up was back in here. So this section right in here, there's something right in that middle, and right down in here they feathered it out. It looks fairly good, not just a little bit. That's real thin. But right in here around this body line, something's going on. It's either got creased in, but it doesn't look bad from the other side. That's what I don't understand. And if you look down this door, it actually looks like it's kind of up in the middle. I don't know why they bellied it out like that. I guess there's something here, and when they filled it, they didn't look down it this way. They just kind of, I don't know, until I get on in there, YouTube, we'll see. But we left off there. We've got some real fine surface rust. There's one teeny pinhole there, one little one there. So there's some stuff going on in there, and then a couple more of these little brown spots back here. I hadn't dug into that at all, but I don't think it's going to be terrible bad. Probably going to treat it on the inside and the outside. Take sandblast this good. Treat it, spot up this couple of little old pinholes, and see if we can get away with it. That's a whole lot better than what that other door looked like on the outside. And really the only thing that's worrying me is what we've got here, but I'm hoping that's going to be fixable. Shouldn't be too big a problem no matter what it is, hopefully. It don't look too big anyway. Well, YouTube, we run out of stuff to work with there, so we decided we drag out the fenders. And my plan was to build a fender rack, something similar to what Rat's Nest Garage did. And I apologize, I do not know his first name. I wish I did. Maybe he'll watch this and give me a heads up and let me know what it is. That way I won't have to keep calling him brother and dude and all that good stuff. Anyway, that's just a little joke there. The fenders don't look bad. We knew that the left front one had been replaced. There is a little ding down here right in this area, but it's not too terrible bad. Nothing in the way of bubbling up rust. It's kind of dirty. All that's just dirt and mess. I tried to blow out the spider web, but no rust on this fender. One thing that I'm not sure of, I'm not sure if this is the E-coat or if this goes back past that. You know, if that fender was replaced way back, I'm assuming it might be something else. I don't know, but it's black. It's black. That's all I can tell you. Not trying to scare anybody with this, Mr. Fireman 164, but right there, it's peeling. It's peeling back with the paint. Like I say, I don't know if that's the E-coat or if that was just some kind of black primer. I don't know. But it is a aftermarket panel. We know that for sure. But, you know, and there again, they might not have even scuffed it, but still, it's peeled back to the metal. This fender here looks like about the same thing. I think it's been replaced at some point. I don't know. I got to dig in there. It don't look like it's got all them layers of paint like the doors did in the quarters. So both of these fenders might have been replaced. This one's got a pretty good little old dent here. And I don't know what caused all that. It was that way when I got the car. But we'll have to work those out. Overall, both fenders look good. Look real good on the inside. No rust. Look rust free. Of course, I probably shouldn't have said that, but anyway, they look real good. And I was going to build that rack, and I said, well, shoot, I got that rotisserie. Maybe I can just modify the rotisserie to hold the fenders, and it really was a piece of cake. I only had to make one little bracket the way I had the rotisserie set up. So I just made this one little bracket right here. And that's because of the way I had these made. This one was for the back. This one was for the front of the car. So these bolts just drop right through the existing holes the way I had this made. Both ends. Worked out, jam up good. I can rotate them. Not that I would need to. I pretty much just wanted to get them out of there, and get them out here where I can start sanding on them. Maybe I won't have to do much, but at least I have them stored in a place where hopefully they won't get damaged. I'm sure when I go to working on them after I finish the doors, I'll probably use these stands some. But anyway, YouTube, not much of a video, but a little progress. And got to get a little more stuff to work with, and we'll finish stripping this door down. We've got the other side pretty much stripped down. It's in fair shape. We got the little pins cut off like we did the driver's side door. Got the edge smooth all the way around. Doesn't look to be any damage. One little spot on the other side that I have found, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of metal work, but that's it, hopefully. So that's where we at. Just a lot of talking. A lot of talking and not much walking. I have picked up a few new subscribers, even though I hadn't done a video lately. And I want to appreciate that. I tell those guys, gals and guys, whoever, I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on board. Thanks for watching the videos, and that goes for everybody. And I'm pretty much caught up, I think, on most of all the folks I'm subscribed to. So y'all can get back to work now. All right, YouTube, we're going to call it a day. Get inside, rest up, and get ready for a work week.